Hello. Thank you for taking the time to visit this small space, where stories are not just to listen to, but to touch the deep things inside yourself. I don't know what you're going through in life. Maybe silent upheavals, unresolved inner conflicts, or simply a vague feeling that it's time to change something. If you're feeling this way, then you've come to the right place. Today's story does not promise to give you the perfect answer, but it can bring a breath of fresh air, gentle, slow, for you to pause, breathe, and listen to the true beat of your heart. Together we will go through the magical movements of the sky, the signs from the universe that perhaps you have felt for a long time but have not yet been able to name, and most importantly, the journey back inside where you can find your own true peace, balance, and strength. If you are ready, join me in this story, slowly, lightly, and full of trust. If you're listening to this story, maybe it's because a part of you is longing for peace, looking for a gentle reminder to return to yourself. There are times in our lives that seem like just a normal week, but actually contain a big turning point. An invisible door opens, and if you listen enough and are subtle enough, you will realize. Life is inviting you to enter a journey of transformation. This week, with its Libra full moon and rare movements in the sky, is one of those moments. And if you're ready, I'll tell you about a fateful moment, about signals from the universe, and 8 simple actions that can profoundly change who you are from the inside. Maybe you haven't noticed, but we are living in one of the most special weeks of the year, a moment that, according to many spiritual and astronomical perspectives, can change the direction of your life, if you are alert enough to realize it. Have you ever felt like things are happening so fast lately that you can't catch your breath? As if time is shortening, events keep coming, making you overwhelmed. Or are there times when I don't understand why I feel anxious and insecure, like I'm waiting for something big to happen, but I can't name it? If you're feeling this way, you're not alone. A lot of people are experiencing the same feeling, and it's not a coincidence. This week, especially the days near the full moon, brings with it a very strong source of energy. It was like a portal slowly opening, a portal of transformation. And whether you're prepared or not, that gate is still waiting for you to pass through. That means what no longer serves you, old habits, negative thoughts, relationships that hurt you, will naturally begin to fall away. It's as if life is gently telling you, it's time to move on. You don't need to understand everything that's going on, but you need to listen to yourself more. Pay attention to the little signs. An unexpected conversation that wakes you up, a recurring dream, an urge to change. These are all signals from the universe to you. The more sensitive you are to those things, the easier it will be for you to stay in tune with the energy flowing through your life right now. This moment is like a gentle but drastic turn. It doesn't create immediate change, but it plants a seed. And if you nurture that seed with mindfulness, clear intention, and courage, it will grow into something beautiful in the months to come. You may find yourself starting to ask yourself the questions: what am I living for? Do the things I am pursuing really make me happy? Who do I want to keep by my side? These questions are not to make you confused, but to help you rearrange your life, like a room that needs to be cleaned to welcome new light. Try doing something light but meaningful this week. Spend an evening without touching your phone. Just sit still and listen to what you're thinking. Write down the things you want to let go. Call an old friend for whom you've always been grateful. Or simply take a walk alone in the park and let your mind rest. Small things like that, seemingly simple, but help you stay in tune with the changing energy around you. You don't need to become the perfect version of yourself right away. You just need to be honest with yourself. That's the most important start. Because awakening does not come from big storms, but from quiet moments. When you are quiet enough to hear the true voice within, you are entering a moment of destiny. Not because something is forcing you, but because you are being given the opportunity to choose again. And if you choose to believe in yourself, choose to love yourself, choose to let go of the past and step towards the light, everything will change. No need to rush. As long as you are ready, new doors will automatically open. Just walk slowly, but don't stop, because ahead of you is a journey worth starting over, with a lighter heart, brighter eyes, and a soul that grows bigger day by day. And when you start to walk slowly on that journey, there is something very beautiful happening that you probably haven't realized. The sky is also silently accompanying you. The universe not only quietly observes, but also continuously sends you subtle movements, like waves of energy moving your heart, leading you back to yourself. Since April 7th, an expected phenomenon has occurred. Mercury ends its retrograde cycle. If in the past weeks you have felt like your mind is confused, your speech is easily misunderstood, and you hesitate in making any decision, now you will begin to feel a very slight but clear clarity in your mind. No more tiring conversations just because of a misunderstood sentence. No more feeling like you don't know which direction to go. Instead, you will find yourself starting to speak more clearly, think more clearly, and your intuition becomes unusually accurate. This is a great time for you to rewrite your plans, whether for work, for personal projects, or for dreams you have put aside. The thing you keep putting off, the thing you've thought many times, it's probably not the right time. Now might be the right time to start. The universe is telling you there is no reason to wait anymore. Then came the night between April 7 and 8, a rare moment when star Regulus, known as the Star of Kings, appears right next to the moon. If you have ever looked up at the night sky and felt your heart calm, that night, that quietness took on a much deeper meaning. Regulus is more than just a shining star. It is a symbol of nobility, courage, and inner power. When it gently touches the moon, representing emotions, intuition, and inner self, you are reminded. You are not just a person living through the day. You are the guide of your own life. Sometimes, power does not lie in great things, but in daring to look directly at your true feelings, daring to love yourself even though you are not perfect, and daring to choose what makes your heart at peace. The moment Regulus and the moon touched was like a whisper. You deserve to believe in yourself, because the crown you wear does not come from anyone else. It has been yours for a long time, just waiting for you to be ready to wear it. Next is April 10th, a day that seems like nothing special, but brings with it a very real transformation. Mercury, just out of retrograde, will meet Saturn, the planet of responsibility and discipline. This is when your mind not only becomes clear, but also gains maturity. If in the past you often dreamed without being realistic, now you will find yourself starting to think more organized, seeing the necessary steps to realize what you want. This combination is like when you just wake up from a long dream. You no longer just want to dream, you want to build, you want to take action. Things you've been putting off, like getting your finances in order, having an honest conversation with someone, or planning for the future, will start to be looked at with a more determined eye. And then, when you get to April 12th, Venus also begins to move in the right direction. If you ever feel like your feelings have become distant, your relationship is no longer compatible, or there are past hurts still simmering inside, now is the time to heal. Not everything will immediately be perfect, but you will start to feel lighter and softer when thinking about love, both love for others and love for yourself. You will want to take care of yourself more, from eating well, resting on time, to reminding yourself, I am worthy of love. Relationships will also gradually have positive changes. People you've been angry with may suddenly text you, or you'll find a way to say what's been on your mind for a long time without being shy. Finances may also take off, but most of all, you begin to understand what your true values are and what is truly worth investing your time and emotions into. Looking back at all of those movements, from Mercury to Saturn to Venus, you will see that nothing is accidental. Everything is arranged to bring you closer to the most true version of yourself. Not the person you try to be for others, but the person you've always been. It just takes a little quiet to realize. The universe does not promise that the road ahead will be easy, but it is sending you a wonderful opportunity, the chance to look back, to realign, to love again, in a deeper and more sincere way. And if you listen and open your heart, you will find that you are no longer alone. Every star in the sky, every silent movement in space is accompanying you, because you, yourself, are an inseparable part of this universe. And now, the universe is knocking on the door of your heart for you to remember. It's time to return to yourself. When you feel the silent but intense movement of the universe, it is time for you to step closer to the climax of this energy journey. Libra full moon takes place on April 13th. The full moon is already a powerful time for release and healing, but this time, with Libra, the zodiac sign of balance, justice, and relationships, you will feel one thing very clearly. What is not in harmony within you will gradually surface. And that's not to make you confused, but to give you a chance to face and adjust. You may experience unusual changes in your mood. Woke up in the morning feeling full of hope, but just a few hours later felt heavy without knowing why. Don't worry yet. Those feelings are not wrong or bad. They are simply reminders. It's time to have an honest conversation with yourself. During this full moon, suppressed conflicts, from family issues, emotions, to concerns about self-worth, can suddenly surface. You may find yourself more vulnerable when someone says a simple sentence, or more sensitive to things you used to ignore. But instead of reacting or avoiding, try sitting with that feeling like listening to a close friend you haven't seen in a long time. Libra always wants harmony. But true harmony isn't about trying to please everyone. It's about being honest with your own feelings. This full moon encourages you to be honest with what you're feeling, whether it's disappointment, sadness, or even gratitude. If you feel like something needs to end, a relationship that no longer nourishes you, a habit that exhausts you, or a lifestyle that disconnects you from yourself, it's time to let go. Letting go does not mean giving up, but creating space for something new and more correct to appear. Under the full moon, allow yourself to breathe deeply, look back, and forgive, both for others and for yourself. Because sometimes, the only thing you need to do to find balance is to stop, listen, and remind yourself that you don't have to be perfect to be loved. You just need to be real and enough. And when you have sat with yourself under the Libra full moon, where true emotions are illuminated, where balance is most desired, it is time for you to enter the most important part of this journey: action to transform. Because only when you proactively do something will the energy of the universe truly blend into your daily life. See this week as a sacred time to return within and rebuild the foundation of your life. Here are 8 concrete actions you can start today. Small things but powerful, if you do them with sincerity and listening. First action: internal purification. Before you welcome something new, you need to clean out what's old and no longer relevant. This doesn't just refer to your room, but also the space in your mind. Try meditating every day for 5 to 10 minutes. There's no need to force yourself to sit still without thinking. Just take the time to breathe slowly, listen to your heartbeat, and let your emotions pass without judgment. You can also keep a diary of your emotions. Every night, write down one thing you're grateful for, one thing you want to let go of, and one thing you wish for tomorrow. It's as simple as that, but those words will help you feel lighter every day. Second action, write down your intention. When you write down what you want, you're sending a clear signal to the universe and making a commitment to yourself at the same time. Take a quiet evening, light a candle, put on some soft music, and sit down with a blank sheet of paper. Write as if no one is reading. No need for correct grammar, no need for flowery writing. Just be honest. For example, I want to let go of a relationship that hurts me, but I keep holding on. Or, I want to learn to love myself instead of demanding validation from others. Write it down, fold it up, leave it in a jar on a corner of your desk, and every time you feel lost, go back and read it. Third action, practice letting go. There are sadnesses, hurts, or resentments that you've kept in your heart for so long that you think you've gotten used to them, but you were not born to carry those wounds forever. At the time of the full moon, do a small ritual of letting go. You can write down everything you want to let go of: guilt, disappointment, comparison, a memory that hurts, and then burn the paper. Watch the fire burn as it dissolves old energy. This simple act brings a very real feeling of liberation, like a burden is being lightened in your heart. Fourth action, listen to intuition. This week, especially after Mercury stops retrograde, your intuition will become very sharp. Maybe it's a slight premonition about someone, a dream with recurring images, or a thought that keeps coming back to you that you can't explain. Don't ignore those things. You can practice intuitive writing every morning, just a few lines. Write down a question, for example, what should I pay attention to today? Then write down what comes to mind first, whether it's a word, an image, or just a feeling. You are learning to listen to yourself, something that modern society often makes us forget. Fifth action, purify energy. Your living environment greatly affects your energy. If you feel sluggish, heavy, or lost, it is likely that the space around you contains old energy. Start with simple things. Clean a corner of the room, open the door to let in the sunlight, burn some incense or place some energy stones like rose quartz, amethyst. Also, spend more time in nature. Walk in the morning sunlight, touch plants, listen to the sound of streams, sit by a tree for a long time. Nature always has a way to heal without words. And this week, the more you connect with heaven and earth, the more peaceful you will feel from within. Action 6. Review goals. When the full moon energy is high, it's also time for you to have a clear view of what's truly important. There are goals that once made you excited, but now looking back, you no longer have any emotions. It's your sign to adjust, not because you've failed, but because you've changed. Take some time to review your plans. What needs to be continued? What should be put aside? Don't try to pursue things that are no longer suitable just because you're afraid of wasting. Sometimes, giving up is the way you respect yourself. Action 7. Be kind to yourself. In your healing journey, you don't need to become an ideal version right away. Some days you'll get a lot done. Some days you'll just want to lie still, and both are okay. What you need most right now is kindness to yourself. Ask yourself, what do I really need today? Is it a hug? A sufficient amount of sleep? An evening without social media? Allow yourself to be imperfect and still worthy of love. Because you're not racing, you're returning. Action 8. Trust and surrender. This is perhaps the hardest, but also the most profound turning point. You did your part. Purge, listen, act. Now is the time to relax. It's not a matter of surrendering like, let it go, but a deep belief that you don't need to control everything, because there is a flow that is silently arranging good things for you. You can remind yourself every morning, I believe that everything that is happening is bringing me closer to who I really am. And so, you take small but steady steps on your own journey. When you reconnect with these actions, you are not just healing an episode, but are laying the foundation for a lighter, more mindful, and more fulfilling life. The Libra full moon will pass. The cosmic movements will continue. But you will be left with a lighter heart and a brighter soul. And perhaps, the best thing is, you're no longer the old person. You are becoming the version of yourself that will learn to love deeply. You see, sometimes the universe doesn't send us clear words, but just gentle breezes, times when emotions surge for no reason, or dreams that leave us confused when we wake up. But it's all a message. And you? If you have walked through these days with awareness, even if it's just a few minutes of silence every night, or a small decision that comes from the heart, then congratulations. You are on the journey back to yourself. Keep walking, slowly, but confidently. Because ahead, there is always light waiting for you, not at the end of the road, but right in your heart. Thank you for listening until the end. Wishing you a peaceful full moon and a warm healing journey. We will meet again in another moment where your heart wants to listen again.